Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for spending the time with me. Now, let's talk about Amazon. And I've definitely been on an Amazon roller coaster this last week. I have to admit, Amazon has done some really good things during this pandemic. They have at least publicly said, I don't know if it's actually happening, that's one of the reasons we're doing this video, that they will be paying their workers more money. They want to get sanitizers and wipes and disinfectant materials to their warehouse workers as soon as possible. Obviously, people were having things shipped to us more than ever, so Amazon is definitely providing a valuable service at this point. And they've even decided to do their part when it comes to masks and stuff and prioritize them for hospitals and doctors, which is a very noble thing. I admit this is a very noble thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't really take Amazon long for the cracks to start being revealed. It doesn't take them long to kind of go back and I realize, oh yeah, this is still the same scumbag company. To the point where I had 3 Amazon stories in one day that I wanted to talk about. 3! But I'm going to spread them out throughout the week instead because a couple of them don't seem as time sensitive, but this probably does. Now, remember that I've had the article up the whole time, I realized. Okay, well, anyway, you know that warehouse worker who organized the strike for Amazon? The one who said that basically the disinfectants weren't coming, they weren't getting paid more money, and Amazon had a couple tested positive cases of this creepy crud in their warehouses, but they decided not to shut them down, and that, by the way, is very dangerous. He organized a strike, and of course, Amazon fired him. Now, I was talking to another YouTuber who said that he got fired because he embarrassed the company. And I'm like, well, yeah, I admit that. But here's the thing. You can't just fire someone because they're raising a safety concern. You cannot fire them for raising a health concern. That's going to become a problem. So anyway, let's look at the story and then let's look at kind of the fallout of what happened with it. So anyway, like I said, I've had this article up the whole time. I didn't realize it. I forgot to press the button. Oh well. Leaked memo reveals Amazon exec called fired warehouse organizer not smart or articulate. I find it interesting because you know what? Amazon memos used to never leak. They used to be pretty ironclad. But ever since the warehouse search and the way that they totally tried to take advantage of New York, I'm noticing more and more memos are leaking from Amazon. Probably because there are people in the company. Actually, I know there are people in the company who do not agree with the direction of the company. They do not agree with the size. They do not agree with Jeff Bezos. And so I think they're trying to actively sabotage the company. But they leaked this memo that showed Amazon's thought process to spin, if you will, their total illegitimate firing of a worker who had very legitimate concerns. So, here's the thing. Amazon on Thursday said it would offer warehouse workers temperature checks and masks in combat the creepy crud, but the announcement was overshadowed by a leaked memo revealing the company was trying to discredit a warehouse worker who was fired after organizing a strike for safer working conditions. Now, let me say something right now. This thing where it's like they had announced that they were going to have temperature checks and masks, well, here's the thing. They had already announced those, so that was nothing new. But here's the thing. In a leaked memo to Vice, Amazon General Counsel David Zapolsky called the warehouse worker Christian Smalls not smart or articulate, and added that Amazon should lay out the case for why the organizer's conduct was immoral, unacceptable, and arguably illegal in detail, and only then follow with our usual talking points about worker safety. There's a lot that's said in this little sentence. First of all, it's funny how it's like when they say we're going to lay out the case for why the organizer's conduct was immoral, unacceptable, and arguably illegal. Well, here's the thing. They fired him because he had been in contact with someone with the C virus, apparently, and did not self-quarantine. I mean, granted, he did a strike. I think that counts as a self-quarantine, kind of. But if that is his crime, and if what he did was immoral, unacceptable, and arguably illegal, then I would say that what Amazon does by keeping the warehouses open when you know you have had a positive case walk in the warehouse, several in fact, and you're not closing these warehouses, that you're not disinfecting them, that you're not doing what the CDC recommends, I would argue that's double, triple, or quadruple immoral, unacceptable, and arguably illegal. So, and they said they're going to explain in detail why. It's like, yeah, you don't want to start getting into his details because those details can probably be flipped and used on you. And then the next thing that was said, and only then followed, was the usual talking points about worker safety. Like, you know, there's that joke in Casablanca where they're looking for a criminal. And the police chief says, well, round up the usual suspects. And he does that kind of like yeah, get the usual suspects. We'll pick one of them. And that's kind of what the usual talking points are. It's like, yeah, bring up the talking points, you know, like whatever. So this kind of gives like a little sneak peek into just how malice Amazon is. And granted, David Zapolowski's job is to protect Amazon. He's not there to protect the employees. He's not there for even the customer. He's there to protect Amazon. And this guy definitely highlighted a safety issue with Amazon. So it's his job to try to spin the story and turn it on this guy so that Amazon looks good. But obviously it's not working. Because here's the thing. The strategy was an attempt to combat the bad press surrounding Amazon's firing of Smalls, which came after he organized a 15-person walkout at a Staten Island Amazon warehouse to demand the facility be closed for cleaning in response to multiple employees testing positive for the virus. Yeah, that warehouse should be closed. I know that there are people who work there who watch this channel. I'm sorry. I'm not out for your job. I think I appreciate what you do, honestly. But hey, look, you're in danger there, and that virus can get on stuff. They need to shut the warehouse down. They have to disinfect it. They have to do the 2 weeks, and then we can talk about sending everyone back. And you need to be sent home with pay, by the way. Amazon says Smalls was fired because he didn't follow orders to stay home after contacting the infected employee. Kind of like how Amazon failed to follow orders about closing the warehouse and disinfecting after the employee walked into the building, but whatever. But Smalls told Forbes he never saw Amazon's quarantine policy, probably because I don't have one. Nobody has one. This is all brand new. He wrote in an op-ed in The Guardian he was singled out because of his plans to protest. I believe it. Now then, what's kind of funny about situations like this is that, well, when memos leak, then that begins the PR spin to put a positive spin on the bad PR. So Zapolowski did make a statement, and he said to Statement Vice, I was frustrated and upset that an Amazon employee would endanger the health and safety of our other Amazonians by repeatedly returning to the premises after having been warned to quarantine himself after exposure to virus 19. I let my emotions draft, my words get the better of me. You know what's fascinating about this statement? It's the exact statement he was bragging about writing the first time. I mean, let's look at this real quick. I mean, it's like Amazon should lay out the case for why the organizer's conduct was immoral, unacceptable, and arguably illegal in detail, and only then follow his usual talking points about worker safety. Boy, that follows this to a lead. What's he doing? He's laying out what the employee did wrong and why he was so frustrated, and then he gets on to, oh, I let the emotions, like, oh my gosh. The memo leaked spelled out this very statement, and he still made it. They truly don't know how to apologize at all. So anyway, here's the thing. And by the way, warehouse workers in at least 10 warehouses across the country have had infections. When you get your packages, make sure to disinfect them with Lysol or something. Maybe quarantine them for 2 weeks. I don't know. But what did all of this get him? What did this actually work out in Amazon's favor? I doubt it. Because here's the thing. The New York mayor and the attorney general are seeking investigations over this fired worker. Bravo. I totally agree with you. So, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has ordered the city's Human Rights Commissioner to investigate Amazon over the firing of a warehouse employee who helped organize a worker walkout on Monday. The order, announced on Tuesday, so obviously I'm a little late with this, follows the call from the New York State Attorney General for a federal labor investigation into the firing. A group of warehouse workers walked off their jobs in Staten Island to demand that the company close the facility following several confirmed cases of the C virus among staff. Later that evening, Amazon fired one of the organizing workers, Chris Smalls, saying he violated quarantine and safety measures. Smalls and other organizers of the walkout alleged the firing was in retaliation to his activism. New York's Attorney General Letitia James said the firing was disgraceful and called for an investigation by the National Labor Relations Board. Quote, this is still Letitia James. At a time when so many New Yorkers are struggling and are deeply concerned about their safety, this action was also immoral and inhumane And she added that her office is considering all legal options. So, yeah. So, and of course, Amazon is saying, because Amazon's statement for this way, like, this is unacceptable, we terminate employees, yada yada. So, yeah, they're gonna get slammed for this one. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, if you make your employers look bad, they're probably gonna fire you. I totally acknowledge that. But here's the thing. Amazon, who's as big as they are, should have realized what this was going to look like. They should have realized, like, hey, we are in unprecedented times. People are scared, and we have confirmed faces in our warehouse. We're not following the rules, and we fire the guy who raises concerns. You know what Amazon should have done? It's really simple. They should have caved. Seriously, they should have caved. They should have said, okay, everyone at these warehouses, go home for 2 weeks. We'll pay you. We're going to disinfect. We're going to close for 2 weeks. It's going to be hurt, and we're going to try to open like a new warehouse if possible, like to continue to meet our customers' needs. You know, you have to cave in this case. We are in a very scary situation, and people are frightened. And by doing this, you don't do yourselves any favor. So for Chris, I'm going to say this, even though it probably doesn't seem like it right now. This is probably the best thing that could have happened for his strike. And it probably will be the best thing that happened to him because he's going to get a huge, huge settlement. And I don't know where, because here's the thing, Amazon might come out looking like the bad guys in the long run to a lot of people after this. I'm going to tell you why in a following video. It's probably not going to be tomorrow. It's probably going to be like Monday. But keep an eye on this channel. We're going to keep following this. In the meantime, what do you think of this particular situation? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.